Today, I am going to show you the rise and fall of Europe. Before the start of the video, make sure to leave a like, and if you want to see more content, subscribe to the channel. Let's get started. The idea of Europe was grand, but also gradual. The project of rebuilding after World War II was shared, and the US Marshall Plan was of huge importance, but the sense was also of Europe needed to do something organizationally for itself, and to do it in a unified form. From this, the idea of unity as an overarching goal began to develop, but the first steps were very specific ones. They began with the formation of the European Coal and Steel Community in 1951. Unity and cooperation in this sector were necessary for the industrial redevelopment of Europe, but theorists began to read such steps of functional cooperation as preconditions for wider cooperation and formal regimes of cooperation. From the start, there was a triptych of organizational methods, beginning with harmonization, then cooperation, and finally a regime of coordination. It is this last stage that Europe has now reached, and it is this that has caused grave disquiets among many member states who see the coordinating bureaucracy and regulatory frameworks of Brussels as having intruded upon national sovereignty in the old Westphalian sense of sovereign states having sovereign public administrations serving sovereign constitutions and laws. This was very much the essence of debate in the UK as it underwent its 2016 referendum on continued membership, the extent to which sovereignty had been eroded by coordinating machinery in Brussels, which was not answerable to a UK electorate, or even any electorate. The triptych of harmonization, cooperation, and coordination was not designed as a progressive one. It was simply a means to analyze types of intergovernmental organizations. Harmonization is to do with common principles, including in the case of the OECD, common principles of economic planning and behavior. Cooperation is to do with the states agreeing on a joint venture or a float of ventures, but it is still the states who call the shots, even if they have a secretariat in common for those ventures. Coordination, however, is very much the realm of a supra-state body that keeps the participating states in line with treaty agreements that have the status and power of law. The tension in the growth of the European Union between steps of increasingly functional cooperation, spreading from the coal and steel sector to others, but always centered on technical functionality, and the grand vision of statesmen like Jean Monnet, who had been in charge precisely of coal and steel, but had also, in an astounding precocity, been Deputy Secretary General of the League of Nations at age 31, that envisioned a new European economic order, and finally, a European political union, haunted the growth of the Union as it passed through its treaty phases, the provisions of each treaty being adopted into national laws. The Treaty of Rome in 1957 created what was then called the European Economic Community, and it might be said that the founding intent was not yet fully political. By the time of the 1993 Maastricht Treaty, the European Union had a firm economic mission and political intent. Europe absorbed a range of sovereign powers from its members to achieve a functional and public administrative commonality of standards and procedures for all members. A member state like the UK negotiated an opt-out of some of these commonalities, but for the majority of the states in the EU, the commonality of European standards and procedures is either an aspirational or achieved reality. There are, however, two particular aspects of the European project which bear note. One is a note of pronounced concern for certain members, such as Greece, and that is to do with economic and fiscal policy. And the other strikes a note of very great concern for neighboring Russia, and that is a European common security policy which has no choice but to achieve its operationalization through NATO. The Bank. Membership of the EU does not oblige a state to join either the European Bank or the Eurozone. However, 19 of the 28 member states did join the Eurozone, which was created in 1999, with the European Bank having been created in 1998, both to manage the euro and to act as a provider of liquidity under negotiated conditionalities and fiscal regimes. The problem was that there was a common currency without a common fiscal policy, except insofar as the receipt of liquidity created a fiscal zone dictated by Europe, either by the bank itself or by European leaders acting through the bank, and often in concert with other lending agencies such as the International Monetary Fund, or IMF. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications to see more of our future videos. With that said, keep enjoying our videos, and I'll see you in the next video.